Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sunroom Sisters, Ep.2.
Yay.
We're happy to have you guys. We're hoping this episode's a little bit more put together.
Intellectual.
Yeah.
Something more.
Than the
We were
last
nervous
one.
last time, had no idea what to talk about. Not even that. I think we were just so nervous that it made us so all over the place. So thanks for bearing with us. I hope it was funny. I think our delusional tiredness and our nervousness made us funny.
Yeah.
So I think that it worked out good for our first episode. But today we have a more organized topic to talk about. Hopefully we can stick to it and,
Not veer off. I mean, we're gonna veer
yeah.
off naturally. Naturally, we're gonna veer off and
Right.
go off tangents. Of course, that we wouldn't be us. We wouldn't be the Sunroom Sisters if we didn't do that. But yeah, definitely a little bit more trying to stay within the same topic. Anyways,
Or just relate to
or
it
just
in
yeah,
some way.
not flies and fish in the Bible. So
Mm-hmm.
you won't have to worry about that this episode, guys. But yeah, no. So I went out. I didn't go out yesterday. Just went out for a girls' brunch, Valentine's Day for my really good friend Jada, her birthday, and I was in Athens. If you know Georgia, if you know anything about SEC football, anything, you know Athens. You know it's a party town. College town, yeah. And that's where I was yesterday, and I was looking around and I was like, I have not literally have not been here in years. I have not been here. I mean, I was there last year, but it was just again for just another brunch, not really for going out. And I thought to myself, I was like, I have not been out in so long, and I don't even want to go out. I don't crave it anymore. I used to not crave it, but
it was just something exciting to do that, when you're young, you're like, oh my God, let me go drink with my friends, go dancing, go to the club, go out, meet some older people, meet some college people. It's very exciting. I got the same feeling of wanting to go out and put myself out there and just, living the life that you see on TV sometimes.
Oh, definitely. I feel like shows growing up and movies, especially, I don't know, I grew up on a lot of Jersey Shore and watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians and something seeing the party life. They glorified it and glamorized it, which it is very fun. It is fun for a while. But I think just me personally, I I think I just went out one night and I was looking around and I was like, I want to be in my bed. And then after that, it was I just never went out. You have to quite literally drag me by my the tippity of my toes to get out of bed.
So her going out led to her thinking about how we always used to go out in college and stuff, and our freshman year of college, and then it kind of led to her, realizing how we don't go out anymore. And we've talked about how we don't go out anymore, but we decided that, that would be a cool episode on the podcast, something to talk about that we can relate on.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people can relate to it too.
A lot of people can relate to.
Because I feel sometimes people, especially people our age, we're in our early 20s, so it's normal and it's honestly almost a rite of passage to go out, to go on benders, to party,
experience that
3 out of the 4 days
experience that college life that you had in your head growing up watching these movies, and you think that you're gonna do that when you get older and stuff. And I'm so grateful to have had those experiences. We've had some crazy fun experiences that I can guarantee you would be scenes in a movie, and with our going out experiences. And I'm so grateful for them. It makes me feel like I experienced that as much as I could, really. And then it got to a point where it's okay, I've experienced it enough to where it's just the same thing over and over again. And it wasn't giving the same energy.
It was just very, yeah, it was very repetitive. And I'm someone who, I used to think I was the kind of person who needed a routine, which I do need a routine. And I am very, with certain things in my life, I like things and I'm very stuck in my ways. But also in other parts, I value change. and I want things to be constantly like changing. So just the fact that every time we went out, it was pretty much the same kind of ordeal. It just felt just so repetitive, and it felt like I was just going through the motions. Like I wasn't even enjoying myself towards the end. And this is not me by any means like shitting on or
Going out. No, like if
no,
I
it's
had the feeling of
mm-hmm,
going out, I would go out. Trust me, I loved it. I love, well, obviously people get in their moods or whatever. Sometimes I love being at home, but sometimes I love socializing and I love, experiencing new places, new people,
mm-hmm,
and having a drink. Like we're young, we're in our 20s. Like yeah, like let me get a glass of wine.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I think it just really maybe we partied too much. I mean, there was a time where we were going out every single weekend our freshman year of college, so it could have been
And
like, oh,
high
we
school
burnt out,
too, yeah.
but it just, yeah.
No, I that could
I
most
just
definitely, but
I
then
just
I
find myself
think
not wanting to
go out
a
anymore.
lot anymore. I mean, obviously, rare occasion I will get the feeling of, but not like going out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to go to the bar, to the club. I want to go to like a rooftop and get
Yeah.
a drink with
Or like
my
the local
friends.
pub in the downtown area near us. Like that is like I think what we consider going
Going
out
out for
now
sure.
is just like, hey, let's go to like downtown Lawrenceville, downtown Duluth. Let's go get a little drinkity drink and then be in bed by 10:30.
Yeah.
That is my definition right now of a night out. And then sometimes I think I'm like, am I wasting away
I think the same thing
my early
sometimes.
20s? But then I have to sit back and like reevaluate, and I'm like, I wouldn't be as genuinely happy as I am staying my ass at home if I was just quote unquote wasting my 20s away, because if I genuinely thought I was wasting my 20s, I would get my ass up and go to the bar.
And I think that you can tell, I mean, for some people you can, but I think we've experienced anxiety, so we're kind of
Oh,
familiar with it. And
we're
so,
best friends.
so I can get the sense of when like I know that it's my social anxiety or anxiety in general that's making me not want to go out, or it's like I genuinely would just rather stay in and watch a movie and eat some popcorn, like,
Mm-hmm.
and that would fulfill me more than going out
Mm-hmm.
um
Mm-hmm.
and
And
having a drink.
I think it's different for us too now because we didn't have nearly as many responsibilities. Like we both basically have children. Like we have big dogs that
Yeah,
need time, they need attention, they need love, they need to be taken care of in a specific way. And like we can't afford to block out. I
like I
mean, what?
can't
That's like
sleep over
six
at
hours.
places
Yeah.
really
Yeah. No.
unless I have somebody to watch him.
Mhm. Mhm.
And like going out, I mean, especially we would travel, speaking of Athens, we would travel, like, what, Athens is like what, an hour
An
from here?
hour.
We would travel an hour just to go out and get shit faced.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, why'd you do
Yeah.
that?
Well,
But I mean, it was fun at the moment,
I
but
don't
like
regret any of it.
no, me either. And like I would probably still do it once upon a time somewhere in the
Mhm.
future. But now we can't spend the night at our friend's house in
Mhm.
Athens and do that, or spend the night at our friend's house in Atlanta to do that. Like
Mhm.
it's kind of like I have to be home by 10 p.m.
Yeah.
because I have,
I have a baby waiting for me
yeah,
at
I have
home.
responsibilities,
Mhm.
which granted we don't have kids, so I feel like it is kind of like, oh shit, I don't have kids yet, so why not take the opportunity to do the things when I can? But then there's the also rebuttal to that of I don't have kids, so I can have a calm night at
Yeah.
home. I don't
Yeah.
have to take care of
Yeah.
kids, and I can sit and watch TV if I
Mhm.
want to, and I could sit and do my skincare for as long as I want
Yep.
to,
Yep.
stuff like that. So it's like I'm not really wasting away my 20s because either way I'm enjoying it the same
Mhm.
way where I wouldn't be able to in the
Mhm.
future maybe.
Like we can appreciate the comfort and the calmness and the quiet of our own home without babies screaming in the back, and that's something that is that we should
Cherishable.
that yeah that we should
Is that a word?
value, and that we
Okay.
cherishable, yeah, I think so. I don't know, I'll Google
I'm pretty sure
it.
it's a word.
Like it's something because I always think about that, and that's why I'm so big on traveling too. Like I was telling Rena the other day, I was like, baby, I will quit a job to travel. Like and that is very privileged of me to say, and I
Oh yeah,
recognize
for
that, and I know
sure.
that, and I
As long as
acknowledge
you're
it,
grateful for everything.
and I am. I'm so grateful, and I just think like, when are we gonna have this opportunity? And again, where we're in this phase of life where like we're
Sorry, I'm touching my
riding
lips.
the line between we have responsibilities, yes, but not nearly as dire as it would be if we had a home to take care of, a husband to take care of, kids to take care of, other animals to take
Yeah,
care
and
of
I think
all
the
in
main one
one.
is the kids and
Mm-hmm.
a job. Like we're not in a job right now where it's like, oh, this is my
Mm-hmm.
career and that's what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. So it's kind of like, I already have in my head that this is temporary, so
Mm-hmm.
I can make I don't have to make sacrifices, so many sacrifices
Mm-hmm.
for this job
Mm-hmm.
because it's not going to be there in the long run.
Mm-hmm. And again, I'm just gonna say this again. We completely know and understand and acknowledge how privileged we are to even
Mm-hmm.
be able to say that like we really don't need, not that we don't need to work. We need to work. We do have bills to pay. But
Yeah, for sure.
we don't it's
Some more than others and some in different areas, whatever.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But we can like just get up and be like, I want to go look for another job because I want to travel or I want to go back to
And I
school.
think anyone could do that, but in the sense of I don't have any strong ties to this job where it's
Mm-hmm,
like I really want this job in the future,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
so I don't have that yet. So I don't have to sacrifice my, you know,
mm-hmm,
time and experiences for that because it's not worth it in this job that I'm at. But
mm-hmm,
one day it will be. So one day I won't have the opportunity to take time to travel or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And I think a big part of us, like, we believe that being on Earth, like, a part of the purpose of being on Earth is to explore this Earth
Yeah,
and to have experiences.
yeah.
And I think the Earth is gorgeous. Like, yeah, she's Mother Nature.
You,
She's
go see as
so
many
near and dear to
places
me.
as you can. As many places as
And
you can.
seeing different cultures and just like
Mm-hmm.
different ways of life, I think that is so fundamental in your um just like
In your life
in your life
experience.
experience and the way that you think and go about life and the way that you judge others or the things that you're not comfortable with and stuff like that.
Because people can grow very ignorant
Mm-hmm.
and very complacent if they just stay in one place their whole life.
Or
Like
be like a
that's
bit,
all they've ever
yeah, which
known.
is fine. I mean, but like it also is like the people around them, their job to like help form them into like a good person, a well-rounded person. But sometimes if you don't have that and you're staying in the same spot,
Yeah, yeah.
then you might not know what's out there.
You're cursing the generations, baby. If you don't get up and
Get your ass out
get
there
your
and
ass
work.
work and work. No, literally, that's what's going through my head right now. But like, in the sense
That's
of
how I feel right
going out
now.
and like traveling and like even going out and partying. I do see
Yeah, I
value in
kind of
that.
veered that.
I
Very off
see
topic.
no, but it all ties together. Like going
Oh
out and
yeah, we
partying,
don't have
you learn
responsibilities and stuff.
extremely valuable lessons. I will say, and you also learn who your real friends are and how they are because
Oh
that
my
is
god.
that brings out a
Going out with people,
completely
different
different
people,
side.
is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about? Yeah, we've been out with our closest friends and we know that, dude, they have our backs 100%.
Mhm.
You can, if I need to throw up something,
Mhm.
I know that my close friends will be there to, this is TMI and gross, but they'll be there to stick their hand down my throat and help me throw up. They'll be there to catch my throw up.
I've done it.
Yeah. And same here. But then you'll see the friend or the quote unquote friends or your acquaintances that you go out with that you know that you're not that close with, and you'll see them leave your ass or your friend drunk in a bar, wandering around, and like really just leave you there and go home without you and not give a crap about your well being. And it's just like so obvious and apparent, and like the
Mhm.
differences of going out with your close friends and going out with like acquaintances.
Mhm.
And I feel like going out with your close friends
But
too.
even people who do go out with their close friends, their quote unquote close friends would still do that to them. Like there
Yeah, it's
are friend
just
groups
then it's
who
our
like
definition of close is what's different.
I don't think so though. I think it all comes back to what kind of person we can be the best of friends. But if I'm a shitty person, I'm gonna leave you at that bar regardless of
That's what I'm
how
saying.
close
Then
we
I
are and how
wouldn't be a
long we've.
close friend with that kind of person. So
Well, I mean, obviously you wouldn't, but like I'm just
some
saying
people
in
would.
terms of like the general, in a general sense, like it all just boils down to genuinely like what kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person to look around and be like, I need to clock all my friends. I need to make sure I can see them. I need to make sure some creep isn't, rolling up on them behind them and they can't see. I need to make sure that they're not in a bathroom throwing up all alone. I need to make sure that they
Right.
haven't gotten taken. I need to make sure that they haven't gotten roofied. There's some people who they're close friends with that person, yes, but they're not going to clock it like other people are, like
Right.
we are. Like
And I
we're
don't think,
very good at it.
yeah, but I don't think I necessarily like when I'm, well, I can't even remember sometimes at some bars anyway, which gives me a lot of anxiety. And that's also why I don't go out because like alcohol, like anxiety, bitch, that's the
Yeah.
worst thing in my entire life I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Well, that's being dramatic, but still, like,
I get drunk anxiety. Like,
yeah, me too. Me too. I was literally the other weekend I was at a wedding and I didn't even get drunk. I just got like a little bit more than tipsy, and I just did not like it. Like, because I haven't been that way since like freshman year of college.
mm-hmm.
So I'm texting Nikki, I'm like, ew, I feel so uncomfortable right now. Like, I don't like this feeling. And then I was telling her, I was like, I don't think I like alcohol. But obviously, we're so young and I'm gonna go out and get a glass of wine. It's gonna be fun and whatnot. But just shit like that.
I was like, babe, you probably haven't been that drunk in years. That's why you're feeling that way. It's not like.
And I was still fine. I was just like, ew, I don't like it. But it was the unfamiliar feeling probably.
Oh yeah, I haven't. I mean, I was just telling Rena the other day. I haven't. I don't think I've been like genuinely. I have since I became the legal age to drink. I haven't been plastered. I got plastered, and this is gonna sound so bad. I don't want you guys thinking of me in any
I
way,
know.
but
Now I'm like, damn, they're gonna think
I
we
mean,
are
this is just
alcoholics
we're in
or
our
that we're shitting
20s.
on people who are drinking in their 20s, which we're not. Due to literally experience your 20s as much as you can. Like, go for it. It's just everyone is different, so that's just what it comes down to.
Like I don't think I've been genuinely like well and truly drunk since I was 19, 18. Like I don't know. I think it just even back then I was never a fan of the alcohol, but I was the fan of like the aftermath of how fun it was in the moment, and then I regretted it like fuck the next day.
The excitement.
The excitement and just like the liquid courage and like
it's the liquid courage for me. Every time I went out, and especially like the places that we went to, it's kind of like if you weren't intoxicated, it just like the vibes were off. Or it was just like, what are we doing just standing around here?
I think that's with any place though. Like any place that you're meant to be drunk at, if you're not some sort of under the influence
around you, so then it's like if you're sober, the vibes are off. So I definitely felt the need to like definitely be intoxicated every time I went out to that kind of setting, not to like, a restaurant or anything, like specifically bar club vibes.
The last few times I've been out,
the trashy bar club vibes. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my god, what is it? The Fat Squirrel.
We just went to trashy.
The damn bar. Yeah, those are those are the names of two places that we've been to.
That probably made it or like broke it for us, like make or break. I think the places that we went to broke that sense of wanting to go out.
Oh, 100%.
The places we were so trashy and gross. Like looking back, it wasn't that bad. Like, to be in your 20s and going there and to be in college, it's fine. Just looking back, it didn't.
No, some of the trashiest places I was at were actually the most fun. Like the two I just mentioned. If I already know,
yeah, those were fun too. I don't know.
No, those were fun.
Like, shit face and everyone being shit face and like throwing up and stuff. Like, ew.
No, it's the ones where you walk in, everyone's pretentious as fuck, their noses are in the air, the girls are looking at you like, who are you? Look at this competition walking in. The men are looking around trying to figure out who they're taking home. It's just I don't like I don't like the concept of going to a place to be surrounded by hundreds of people to stand around with a cup in my hand and sway back and forth for an hour and 45 minutes. That is
That's
not the
not,
definition
yeah.
of fun to me at all, because the longer I stand there, the more anxious I get. Do you know how many times I have had to pull Rena aside and be like, babe, I have to, yeah, and I didn't even drink at that point. It's because my social anxiety, I mean, I still have very bad social anxiety, but it would be so bad that I would convince myself that, like, if I do not run to the bathroom right now, I'm going to throw up in front of everybody and I'm going to make a fool of myself and I'm going to end up on fucking World Star. So that's why I don't go out anymore. And that's why I don't, and I never have liked those places where you just go in and you stand around for 2 hours swaying back and forth with a fucking
That
red
was
solo
kind of
cup in
like,
your hand.
yeah, that was kind of like house party vibes for me. I just felt awkward as shit, like, because you don't know anybody there, but like everybody else knows each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And at clubs, I didn't feel that way, especially with like the mood. And it depends on who you're going with. The
Oh yeah.
music's bumping, and then sometimes like the girls, you know, we can all just like, you know, do our little dancey dance to
Mm-hmm.
music, and that's so much fun. Like, I could be sober or drunk for that or whatever, but it's the house party vibes that I'm just picturing myself, like, you know, in the, not in the corner, but like, to exaggerate, be in the corner with a solo cup, like looking around, like not talking to anybody.
It's more people watching than it is partying for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even in the mindset of partying. I'm in the mindset of like I'm people watching. I'm
Or
trying
like,
to see
I would
what's
just
going
be
down.
intimidated because
Mhm.
walking into a setting where like everyone knew each other but didn't know me, like I would just be very intimidated. You know,
Mhm.
and they're all in college, they're all your age, you know, you still have that sense of like wanting to fit in a little
Mhm.
bit.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Mhm. I would definitely though. I wouldn't knock it, knock partying if I was in a different country. Like when I'm in
Oh
different
yeah,
countries
it
and I'm
also depends on
traveling,
our setting and where we are in Georgia to begin with too.
just the whole of Georgia though. Just the whole of Georgia. Like I don't think I've been to legit one place where I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, I like it here." No. It's oh, that sounds so bad because I've been out where I've enjoyed myself, but just
Sorry.
looking back at it, it wasn't a full it
I'm
wasn't
looking at
full
topics.
enjoyment.
I'm not just on my phone. I'm
It
looking at
wasn't
our layout.
it wasn't full enjoyment. It was just like I'm enjoying this right now because I want to live in the moment and I want to be with my friends and have fun with my friends. But like I wasn't truly in my honestly, I'm never in my element when I'm out and about and I'm like on the town. I'm always constantly looking around. I'm very
I think
antsy.
sometimes I can be in my element for sure. It just definitely depends on the setting. Like like sometimes if we go to downtown Lawrenceville, depending on, you know, what kind of mood I'm in or who's around, where we're eating, what we're drinking, I could definitely be in my element and just be like, you know, this top moment in life right now,
Mhm.
hanging out with my friends.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
But
Oh, would you add alcohol into the mix though for
I
me?
think it's just the next day.
Oh, no, for me it's at
No, in the moment I'm chilling
like
easily.
yesterday I barely finished my espresso martini. Like I had like I mean I finished it towards the end, but I had to force myself to not throw up and gulp it down. And the way that alcohol just sits in my stomach is it's just so uneasy
Uh-huh.
and I just don't like it anymore. Like
Well, and alcohol is literally poison. I mean, to, you know,
to each
it's
their
a,
own,
right. I'm
obviously.
like, we're the last people to judge
Yeah,
anything
no.
or
I think it's
whatever.
just our not our it's not that we're judging, it's just our bodies just
I'm sensitive
genuinely.
to it as, yeah, like very, very sensitive to it. Like, you can ask Nikki, I can have half a drink the next day. I'm like, I feel hungover. She's like,
Mhm.
why? You literally like barely, you didn't even finish your drink. And it's like, I genuinely think that I'm just sensitive to it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it just makes me feel nauseous and just gives me anxiety. And I think it, you know, it raises your, alcohol raises your blood pressure. And I just feel like I could feel that happening the next day. And sometimes I'm a bit of a hypochondriac, so I feel like
A
that might
bit.
that might play a part too, and why like I get anxious the next day because I'm like, oh my god, I feel it affecting my body.
Guys, she's a fucking hypochondriac, bro. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'll be like, Nikki, my feet feel tingly. Why? What do you think it is?
Like she'll be like, "Wait, Nikki, come here. Can you come feel this? Can you come feel this?" And it's like she's like asking me to like
Feel
rub
a
like
lump
feel a lump in
in
her
my.
tit, and I'm like, "Babe, you're fine." Like we can go get you checked out, but like I
Oh,
think you're okay. But no, alcohol, oh, it'll make you
I
feel, it'll
feel
make you be
hungover
a
talking about it.
hypochondriac. Honestly, I don't really get hungover.
Well,
I've never gotten hungover.
I think sometimes I don't, but I definitely think it depends on what I'm drinking. You know, I maybe if it's like I was gonna say good quality wine, but then there's that wine hangover. Maybe I don't know. I'm not
See, I
really
can
an
do a nice
alcohol
glass.
connoisseur.
I can do a nice glass of wine.
Yeah, and it just makes me feel like pristine and like
Just like very, very mature
mm-hmm,
and
classy,
womanly and put together. Like I'm not just throwing some vodka and Red Bull
right?
in a cup and
And some blue dye.
oof,
The blue
a
motherfuckers.
blue motherfucker. Oh my God, do you remember
Yo.
that night when we were out? We were in Buckhead, and this is not a proud. I'm not proud of this moment by any means, and I do think back to this, and I'm like, who were you, and why did you do that? I was absolutely plastered at this point. Like there was no point of return. And we had went from one bar to another. They
Happens to
were
the best.
right, yeah, they were right next to each other. And we get into the second bar and we go up to the bar and I don't even know how I remember this. I think right after this, I don't remember anything after. But I remember this last point. This guy came up to me, bought me a tequila shot, took that with him. I looked to my right, and these three guys had bought themselves a blue motherfucker tower. Every time they would turn around,
We would
I would go.
drink it. I was there. I
We were, oh my God,
literally
you were.
remember. We
We,
would steal a fucking blue motherfucker tower. They would turn around. Me and Nick would drink that shit
and I remember
to
they
get
turned
free
around and they were like,
drinks.
they looked at it, they looked at us, and then they looked back at it and they noticed that it was like, it was
Gone.
significantly lower than what it had been before. And I don't think they ever said anything because like we're
Nah, they were
girls, we're pretty
chill. They
girls,
were
so they're
probably
not
just
gonna,
like these
these
girls. Like, oh
bitches,
my
come
god,
on. No, yeah, I'm not very proud of that moment, but
that's
I just like
hilarious though,
very funny, like the fact that I was just scrounging for alcohol
dude.
because I wasn't gonna
And
pay for it. What do I look like? I'm not a
yeah,
man. I'm a woman. I don't pay for alcohol.
I just remember just going to the bar with no money, and we're all just like, yeah, we're just gonna get people to buy us drinks. Like
And
that's so.
oh my God, do you remember that's the same night that no one knew how we were gonna get home? Like no one had money in their
Dude, we were like,
account for an
let's just
Uber.
get enough money to get there, and then we'll figure it
And then
out.
we'll figure it out. Never again did we think that way though. That night taught us like maybe you either go in with a plan or you don't go in at all.
This is really dangerous and bad, but we've gotten a ride from
Random
strangers before.
people,
Like, I don't even.
random people,
Yeah.
like don't even know these people from a hole in the
Dude, we had
wall.
no business going out being
No,
that broke.
no, no business at all. That's why it's to me also like if I'm gonna go out now that I have the money to go out,
I'm gonna go to
I'm
a
gonna
place
go.
I want to be
Yeah.
at, and that's a little more,
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go to a nice place.
demure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a nice place. I'm gonna sit down pretty in my cute little outfit. I'm not gonna have to worry
Yeah,
about
like
some six foot
I
four
want to wear a
gigantic
dress.
man stepping on my fucking feet all night. No, because I can wear my cute little heels. And that's that.
Agree.
I just wish it was I just wish it was this okay. I think my mindset on partying and going out would be so different if it was how it was in Sex and the City. When I
Yeah.
rewatched it, I was like, "Holy shit! I would be right there next to
I
Carrie,
think a
baby."
big thing too is going out in this generation. I just feel like it's not the same. Um, I think that also the feeling of like needing to be intoxicated in certain like places like that. I think comes with our generation and just like the way we party. I have
Mhm.
no idea.
Mhm. Because it's
Or
it's
like our social standards. I don't know.
I don't think it's the way we party. I think it's the way we judge.
Yeah.
Like when I was rewatching, this earring keeps coming off. When I was rewatching Jersey Shore last year, they had no shame, no fucks given, no judgment. They went out there, they danced their asses off, they got drunk as fuck, they were fighting people, but those people around them that weren't them were also doing the same thing. So they weren't
Yeah.
outcasts of any sorts. They were just like like truly partying. Like people don't truly party anymore. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like how partying quote unquote is nowadays, because it's you just stand around and you sway back and forth for 3 fucking hours with a cup in your hand, and that's it. And you
Yeah.
stand around drunk as fuck. I don't get that. Like I want to be GTL, gym tan laundry. I want the cabs here. I want to go out to the bars, and I want to like I want to be able to dance all night and not have to look around and think like, oh, she's recording me or he's recording me, and I'm gonna get judged for, I'm gonna be on someone's private story tomorrow, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think Snooki and Jenny were worried about that? No, because they no, they weren't worried. They didn't have to worry about people judging them, because that was just how they partied back then. It's completely different now. It's very how do you say, not like materialistic or surface level, just it's there's just more judgment.
Or
There's
I
more
think everyone
judgment.
just has their walls up. That's what it feels like. I just feel like people are not comfortable being vulnerable in those situations. So like everyone just has their guard up, and so it just seems like everyone's either cliquey or just like standoffish
Mhm.
in those certain settings and situations. So it does give you the vibe of like, oh, they don't want to be here. They think, I don't know, they're thinking this, that, and the other.
Mhm. Well, I think the reason a lot of people are also kind of standoffish in those situations, it all kind of goes back to just like self-confidence as well.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I mean, I know me personally, like if I'm in that kind of setting and I'm looking at someone some kind of way, it's not about them. It all goes back to me and how I feel,
For
because I'm
sure.
not
Because
comfortable in
no
that
one's
setting.
really recording you or like looking at you and looking at like, oh, why is she doing that? No one's
Mhm.
really thinking that you're not that
Mhm.
important, and
Mhm.
that, you know,
Mhm.
in the nicest way
Yeah.
possible.
Oh, yeah. But I think that's also a big reason why I stopped going out. Oh,
Me
among the
too.
many others which we can get into, but like
Mm-hmm.
was just the fact of the like severe uncomfortability I felt in those situations, and I still
That's what it
do.
comes down to for
Mhm.
sure. For me too.
Mhm. And like my anxiety, I'm going to be completely fully transparent. Like I have very bad anxiety to the point where it's like it's debilitating.
Mine is
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
It's like
so
as I get older, this gets more debilitating for some reason.
mhm.
But
Mhm. It's so weird, cuz people always say, "Oh, things get better with time. Things get better with time." Honestly, my anxiety has just gotten worse with
in
time.
different areas, I feel like
Mhm. In different, yes, in different areas. Like
it manifests in different areas of my life for sure.
definitely, definitely. I think more recently for me, it's just been like the social setting and being around large groups of people. Like I was at the mall the other day and I had a full blown panic attack. That has never happened. Baby, I'm a shopper. Shop till I
There
drop.
was a car.
The
Sorry.
fact that I got so as anxious as I did in that setting is so like I was very worrisome, because that's never happened to me before. Like my anxiety has never gotten to that point where I'm out at a normal place, that
Where
I've
it's like,
gone to hundreds of times, and I'm having a full blown panic attack, anxiety attack, and I have to find, I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Mall of Georgia, but like the little the little secret tunnels that they have in the back that connect all the stores in the back. I had
on
to
the outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or no, 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 it's inside.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
inside.
know what you're talking about.
I had to find one and go
Oh,
hide.
yes. We used
Yeah.
to work there.
Yeah. I had to find one and go like sit down for 30 minutes, because I was having a full blown, like I was so nauseous, and I just knew that if I walked back out there and saw all those people and heard all the noises and felt all the feelings, and I would have thrown up. I would have, guys, that's my default. It is so bad. It is so bad. It is, I wish it was anything else. Like the fact that my default is throwing up when I'm nervous is a bit concerning. But I've just come to understand that that's just how my body reacts to being put in situations in which I'm not comfortable or which I feel anxious. But like Rena can attest to this. Like there's been so many moments in my life where I could be having a normal conversation, and then in the middle I'm like, okay, I have to go throw up real quick.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
mine definitely presents itself in different ways.
How does yours present itself?
I'll start feeling like something's my hypochondria again. It'll just manifest into like physical things where I have a twitch or something, and then I'm like, oh shit, why am I twitching? Or like does this mean like I'm about to have a heart attack type shit? But stuff like that, or it makes me want to cry. Like my default is either like, oh, like something's happening to me right now, I need to go to the hospital, or I just really like can't control it and I need to cry right now. And that's what happens to me.
God, I wish crying was I mean, I still cry too, but I'm just like barf. Literally like barf in my mouth. Like, oh my God.
I think sometimes I can get nauseous, but I think it's rare for me to get like super fucking nauseous.
People are gonna listen to this and be like, they need to get on meds right now. And I'm like, baby, we've tried.
Or it's like, girl, I'm raw dogging life, you know?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, you know? And I like feeling, might be weird for some people, but I really like feeling like, I mean, in the moment, I hate having anxiety, but I think that it's just a human characteristic. And I'm okay with feeling that. Like I said, maybe not in the moment, but in the long run, like, I don't think I need to like shut off one of my human emotions, because it's obviously some people do. Like, I think if it was any more unbearable, for sure I would look into it, but right now it's bearable enough to where I don't have to do that, so I'm not going to.
I am the opposite. I think I would most definitely, if I had a choice, not take away my anxiety, but just take away the way it manifests itself.
Oh, I would change it for sure to get myself.
Yeah.
I think it's debilitating in some aspects of my life, which takes away from my human experience in some ways. So I agree on that part.
Because I think anxiety is directly correlated to empathy, in which we both have way too much of. We are both empathetic to a fucking fault. To a fault. I mean, like, just with the state of the world and everything going on, it's hard not to have anxiety. And for me personally, and I know Rena gets this way too, like, I can sit there and be like, holy shit, that could have been me. That could have been me. And that's where the empathy kicks in. And then right after the empathy comes the anxiety of, wait, but this could still be me. You know, that could still happen. And it's scary. And I would never, not for 1 minute, take away my empathy and the empathy. Not one empathetic bone in my body would I remove. No, because it makes me human, and it makes me more human than a lot of people. I think, and I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean that genuinely. Like, I mean, the amount of people who truly have no empathy and not a care in the fucking world for what happens in the world, it is truly like disheartening and honestly extremely worrying. Like,
yeah, dude, I don't know, I can get so angry but like it doesn't show. But I'm like, no, I'm thinking about, like, you know, things people have said, whether it's at work or whatever, and just clearly they don't care about others, and they're fine with admitting that. And it's just like, that's kind of scaring me, and that's what gives me anxiety, is when it's like, oh, we're like too far gone, you know?
Yeah.
And I just feel sad for the world, for the earth sometimes, and that's where my anxiety lies, in that. But yeah,
Rena and I have both struggled a lot with taking on the weight of the world and the things going on around us.
In the most grateful sense too.
And yeah, in the most grateful sense that we look around to the life that we have and we appreciate it so much more, because we realize that it could all go away like that with the snap of a finger.
And we just feel for what's going on. Yeah, it's just
feel very deeply.
Yeah,
very,
we
very deeply.
both feel very deep emotions and feel very deeply and are empathetic. So sometimes it can be like, you know, I mean, it's easy to get sad and upset about it for us. So and we can get in our heads and like hone in on that and think about that all day. And
and we also it's also easy for us to get mad at the situation, not only at the situation, but at others for not feeling the way that we feel. And that's something that I personally, which I think Rena has also struggled with as well, but I can't speak on that. But I personally have struggled with the fact that I simply cannot change the way that some people think.
Right, that's not our job to. I mean, if it occurs, great, but it's not our job, and it's very hard to change the way people feel. So that's
and
it's just something that is out of people's hands.
The most that either of us can do in any situation is really just try to educate as much as we can and spread the word of things
educate
going
ourselves
on.
too is a big one. But sometimes it is a lot to like educating yourself and seeing everything. Like I said, you can focus on that all day long, and then it'll just ruin your day. But at the same time, you have to live life, and you have to appreciate what's in front of you, especially for how our lives look. Like it's easy for me to appreciate life, so I need to make sure to do that. But I need to make sure to also inform myself. It's just balance, really.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm grateful to have the opportunity to have that balance.
Definitely a balance. And like wrapping this all together to what we were talking about in the beginning, I just felt as if I could have been allocating my time and my energy into something much more meaningful and deliberate and educational than just going out.
Sorry.
It's okay. Just going out and not wasting my night away, because it's not what it is. But in the moment, it felt like wasting my night away when I could have been, trying to better myself in a different sense and work on myself. And that's what I did. The years that I stopped going out, and I really just focused on myself and what I wanted to get out of life and how I wanted to grow and what areas in my life I wanted to grow. And at that time, I just felt like going out and partying and spending my money on $50 a night on drinks just wasn't in the cards for me at that time. And like I said, and I will say it again because I don't want anyone to get offended, if that is how you find enjoyment and fulfillment, then by all means, you do you. You do you, because that at the end of the day, that's where you find enjoyment. That's where you find fulfillment.
I think everyone receives and gives energy in different ways. So, and at different points in their life. So that's just not a point in our lives that we get energy right now. But it's like, you know how some people are more social because they get energy from other people, and then some people are more introverted because they get energy, or being social takes away their energy. So it's kind of that thing, I think.
And it was just so exhausting. Like, I'm exhausted now mentally with everything happening in the world and in our own country. And do I want to be double exhausted after a night of going out and then coming home and scrolling on my phone and seeing the newest update of what the fuck has happened in the last 3 hours I was at the bar? I don't want to be double exhausted. I'd rather just be exhausted just thinking about these things and double exhausted of, oh, I'm genuinely, my body is exhausted and I'm hungover or I'm drunk. And then I have to also, on top of that, worry about what's going on in the world, because as much as people like to lie to themselves, these things do affect you. They affect everybody. It may not affect you directly. It's not a complete slap in the face, but you're going to feel it.
You're living on too. You know, we all share this earth, so I think it's just weird.
I think a lot of people would benefit from being more mindful of what's going on around them and being more empathetic.
But it is a good, like, to kind of counter argue that too. Like, if you're dealing with a lot of good, going out could be a good, refresher for, you're still living your life and you still enjoy moments, and, you gotta, too much of anything is unhealthy. So just like,
thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because I feel like I was getting a little doomsday there, guys. I'm sorry. I was getting a little doomsday, but it's only because that's just me personally.
And sometimes for me, like when I go out, it lifts me up and you know, it reminds me that, hey, like I have great friends.
Yeah.
And like, hey, I can have fun in life and I'm still living my life to the fullest.
It can be very wholesome and it can show you that there is still good in the world. Like,
and just to have a good laugh, like that is the best thing ever for me.
A good little belly laugh. Yeah, that is definitely needed. That is yes, I agree with you. I do think that a nice night out, however that manifests, whether it's going to the local pub or going to a dive, going to a rave, going to a dance club, however that ends up happening, I think that is healthy. And I think I need to, if anything, I need to put myself back out there more and maybe try to at least once a year, you know, at least once a year go out.
But I think that you know yourself more than anybody else in the world because like you're, you know, you have your own thoughts and nobody else has listened to your thoughts as much as you do. So whatever gives you energy and whatever makes you happy, like just do that. So if it's not going out, like I don't think people should like pressure themselves into going out because it's like if you know that about yourself, that's totally okay. Just be okay with that, you know, and everyone's different, so you don't have to do what everyone else is doing if that's the reason you feel like you need to go out or whatever. Because sometimes I feel like that's how I felt in the past, whether or not I mean I probably enjoyed myself either way, but like if I felt pressured to go out because I just felt like I needed to just to put myself out there, but I didn't necessarily feel that way. Like I didn't necessarily feel like that would bring me joy or fulfillment, but I just like was convincing myself this was something I needed to do, but it wasn't necessarily, you know,
and
it was
also
something that maybe somebody else needed to do or whatever.
Like now that I'm thinking about it, it makes sense for those who are still like deeply immersed within college life.
Yeah, we're also not in the typical college life, and that's why we're saying these things too. It probably would be completely different if we had a different college experience and we're in different areas of our life right now.
Like I can looking at it in retrospect, I can see how if someone was cramming for, you know, for finals or studying all week and they had crazy exams and they had to turn in a project and they just want to let loose and go have fun and not have to worry about their fucking bio class, and that's the way that they like that's their distraction, I guess you could say, or that's where they find some sort of like not comfort but breather, yes, a breather, then 100% go for it. And I think I wasn't thinking that way. I wasn't thinking as a college student. I'm thinking as someone who I'm in college, but I never had the traditional college experience. I never lived on campus. I, you know, wasn't taking a million classes at once. I was never, I mean, I wasn't a sorority, but like I wasn't on Greek row and I didn't live in, you know, an apartment with roommates. So I guess it's a different point of view.
And it's easier to romanticize stuff too when like you see it happening around you. So I definitely think if I was in that situation, I would probably still be going out too because I'd be like, oh my God, that looks like so much fun. I'm just not in that space to where I can see that and it looks like fun for me. So it's not fun for me, if that makes sense. As well, it's still fun, but you know, it's just I don't get the urge to.
It's still fun, but it's different for us because it's not something that like a lot of people, they're like, they just killed themselves the entire week studying for this exam. They took the exam, they're done with it, and they're like, fuck, I just need to let loose. Like for us, we don't have anything like besides work. I mean, like I work 9 to 5, so like I guess that could kind of be the same concept, but
and it's just everyone's different. You don't take your breathers and breaks like that. That's fine.
I think even if I wanted to go out right now, I don't even think I could handle it. I don't think I could the alcohol of it. The dancing, the partying, the socializing. I think maybe I could I have the bandwidth for that right now. But it's the alcohol. I don't know what it is. The alcohol has changed throughout the years because
I think so. It's like getting stronger, just like more like fake, maybe
shittier. It's getting shittier.
I don't know.
It feels like you're just drinking like an Applebee's bottomless everywhere. You could be drinking like Don Julio, and it's like
Yeah, me and Michaela, we got this bottle of wine one time, and I literally opened it. I was like, why did it smells fake? Like, why does it smell fake? Like, I don't know how to make any sense of that. And it tasted fake too. I don't know how wine could taste fake, but it did. And that was my only like explanation or description of it, was that
Maybe it's like
just,
metabolism changes too, and
oh, for sure.
I don't
I think
know.
so.
I don't
Just how
know.
like your body couldn't handle like can't handle like chips as well as like you used to. Like you could sit and eat a bag of chips every night in high school. But
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like, dude, that would mess me
Messy
up.
up.
So I think maybe the sugar content in alcohol.
Mm-hmm. But even when it's just straight,
Bottle of
like
wine. Not like
like straight
um
vodka,
oh yeah.
I'm still like, huh? Like,
It's still, I think there's still sugar in, or
is there?
I think so.
Really? That's interesting. Is
Mm-hmm.
there? Huh. I didn't know that. You learn
Not in like
something
a
new every
sweet
day.
way, but like the carb
Yeah, because when I think of sugar, I'm thinking
sweet.
blue motherfucker. That's what
No,
I'm
I
thinking.
think the like carbohydrates and stuff in it,
Mm,
or just the fact that I don't know, it's just not good for you.
maybe.
Just like how how your body couldn't handle junk food. That's
Yeah.
another thing that's not good for you.
Or
Same
like
with
how my body can literally, I think I'm, not I think, I'm 90% sure that I'm allergic to marijuana. I'm
I think
90%,
some people are. That's a
I'm,
thing.
yeah.
It's not like allergic. It's just like a kind of intolerance to
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. um
I don't even know. My body just can't handle any sort of
this is
intoxication.
this is also a good thing, marijuana, to talk about. I feel like,
Do you want to? Are you wanting to keep this part in?
oh, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
because you just turned to me and asked me like,
oh,
I don't know.
sorry.
I think I'm
um
gonna keep that in just for the simple fact that it was, I don't know, just very funny that
random.
I had to sit there and ask you that.
No, I was gonna keep it in. I was just like
No, that would be a good
explaining my
topic.
thoughts,
That would be a good
because
topic.
we've had our ups and downs with that, and like
Oh,
the
have
people
we?
around us. I mean, weed is weed.
Mm-hmm.
We're like marijuana.
Well, I'm just trying to be a little bit more formal. I don't know who's watching this. I don't want them to think I'm a
That's why I was like,
Neanderthal.
we're talking about alcohol and weed. Like, who's
Who's
watching?
watching?
My family, sorry.
Mom, whatever I said, I never said it. No, she knows all this. She's very
Yeah.
very supportive. If anything, she's like, "Girl, you need to get out the house. You need to stop reading them damn books and get out the house."
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is about weed. I don't know what it
And you know
is.
what sucks too for me? I'm so mad about it too. I don't like the feeling of smoking, and I'm so pissed because, like we said, we have anxiety and
Yeah.
stuff, and so it's a form of like calmness from anxiety, I think, for a lot of people. So the fact that it can't be for me sucks.
The fact that it has the quite literally the opposite effect.
It sucks. Like, I can have nothing. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, literally. Can't drink alcohol, can't escape, can't have an alcoholic escape.
Can't calm
Can't
my nerves
can't calm
with
my nerves with
smoking.
weed. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm just raw dogging life.
Yeah.
Literally. My Olipop. This is what I have now. Olipops.
Dog life, but
Olipops and matcha. That's us.
mm-hmm. I can't
Pretty
even have
much.
coffee. Like,
Yeah,
come
no,
on,
I can't
dude.
literally can't even drink coffee. If I drank coffee right now, I kid you not, I'd be like, Rena, take me to the hospital. I haven't drank coffee in that long where if I drink it right now, I'm done for.
Yeah.
It gives me
Same
the
with
worst
energy
anxiety.
drinks.
I am TMI, but I'm gonna be on the bathroom. I'm gonna be in the toilet. I'm gonna be on the toilet for like 5 hours at
I'm gonna be
least.
in the toilet. No. Dude, and I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And it's like, damn, like just talking about the way, like all the shit going on in the world. Like I would like a little escape just to be able to like not think about it for a minute, and I
or something.
can't even do that shit. Like can't even pop open a little bottle of wine and forget my worries. Can't even smoke a little joint and forget my worries because I'm gonna worry about it 10 times more than I normally would being sober. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know
Crazy.
what. The earth or the universe said, nah, you just gotta deal with
Yeah,
this shit for real. Like, you don't get to have that, but that's okay.
That's fine. I'm not mad about it. I'm just a little like, damn, I think
Yeah.
that's why I read so much, because my brain literally shuts off.
You can escape without with still being here.
Yeah, with still being sober and coherent.
Yeah, we're big book lovers over here.
Big book lovers over here. That's a whole episode in and of itself.
Yeah, just we're writing down like topics of what can our podcast be on, and there's a topic that literally just says books and reading.
Yeah, we've read a lot, a lot of different stuff too. I think we're very versatile in that sense. Like, yeah, I'll read a little smut, baby. Who doesn't? But I also I can dive into the classics, and I can dive into Russian literature, and I can be solemn and somber, but I can also be reading a very sexy book. I'm very
like
versatile.
Going from reading the last lecture to reading like Fourth Wing.
Yeah. I know. After I finished The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, I was like, I either need to never read another book again for the next 3 months, or maybe I need to read something immediately after that is going to be very uplifting, because the way that I felt after, I was like, this was an escape, but it was a trick escape. It was like, yes, you can escape by reading this, but it's also going to make you reflect back onto your life 10 times harder than you were before you started reading. And yeah, so immediately after, I was like, I need like some sort of like, I need like Stephanie Archer hockey book, or some sort of like smutty piece of shit that I can just get my mind off of it.
I have to be in a real particular mood to want to read something that's gonna make me cry and like rethink my whole life.
That's funny though, because I've read books which I didn't think were gonna make me cry, but I've cried in smutty during smutty books before.
For sure. Me too. Like some stuff just hits home, or it's just like you can feel the emotions off the page, which is great. I mean, you're a great writer and you're reading a great book, which I love. It's like with movies, like, dude, if you feel anger or sad throughout a movie, like, that's how you know it's a good movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how you know it's a good book.
I haven't watched a movie in a long time that made me
I was like,
really
you watched
emotional.
A movie this morning.
No, I did. I did watch a movie this morning. It was really good, guys. It was, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the movie. It's called My Fault, but it's Spanish. Yeah, it's technically, the original book is a Spanish book. And it's called like Mia Culpa. Yeah, am I saying that right? Mia Culpa?
Mia Culpa?
Culpa? I don't know. But it translates to My Fault in English. So they came out with another one, which is, it's the same premise, but it's different. It's based in London, and it's obviously different characters and all of that. And it just came out like 3 days ago, I think, and it's really good. It's really, really good. Obviously didn't make me cry. I mean, it's like chick flick. Like, whatever. I'm not gonna cry. It's not The Notebook. It's not. What other movies? I mentioned The Notebook last episode. That movie has been on my mind recently. I don't know why.
A Star is Born.
Oh,
we balled.
Oh my god. One thing about Rena and I, oh my god, and I fucking hate it. Every time her and I pick a movie out together, for some odd reason.
It's weird. It's so weird.
For some odd reason, this movie ends up being the ending is the worst possible ending you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
all bad endings.
All bad endings.
Or not even, some aren't even bad endings. It's just like, wait, like, I don't get it.
It's like I didn't sign up for that fucking ending. Yeah, I didn't.
It's like, or it's like it leaves you like on a cliffhanger, but then there's no like sequel or anything. You're just like, so that's it. And like, you're just left like, you know those indie movies where it's like, oh, just interpret it. It's just it's like, no, I want to know what you mean and what happened.
Interpret it for yourself. That's so
like,
funny.
My mind is not that creative, bro.
What's the movie that we watched with Lily Reinhart? I think it's called
Chemical Hearts.
Chemical Hearts. Oh my god. Wait. Question mark to that movie, because what the fuck was that?
I don't even remember watching.
The way it ended, I was like, huh? Huh? What the fuck was that? No shade or hate, because I love Lily Reinhart. Love her. She's a cutie. But what the fuck was that movie? What we literally wasted. I remember the minute it ended, we looked at each other and we were like, we just wasted like 2 hours of our fucking life
Yeah.
on that movie. And then there was another one.
There was so many. I can't even remember.
No.
But it's the ones that I don't remember.
No, I remember. It was, you had already watched this movie. It was my first time watching 500 Days of Summer.
No, I had not
watched
it. We watched
it.
Time.
So, see? And obviously, if you've watched that movie, you know it's a fucking horror flick. It's not a romance. It's not a comedy. It's a horror movie. Everyone knows this.
500 Days of Summer?
Because of the fact that they don't fucking end up together and she breaks his heart.
I was taking that literal. I was like, bro, that was not a horror movie. What are you talking about?
No, but it is a horror movie because what the fuck
what? Dude, you're just like messing with people's emotions at that point, like for no reason. You make them want to be together so bad, which it's so hard for them to be together. And then
obviously A Star is Born. Obviously we fucking cried, and it was not the worst ending. It was just an ending, but
that
it was
I did not expect. Yeah. And then when that shit happened, I was on the floor in tears.
Yeah.
I did not I loved it, but I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've had our fair share of shitty movie experiences.
Now you see why we stay at home.
Yeah.
We watch books. We read movies.
We definitely watch our books.
We watch movies, we read books. Can we cut that part out?
No, I'm keeping it in there.
No, because my facial expression when I was saying that just made it cringy. If I had a different facial expression.
Wait, I'm gonna play this back. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Ew,
no,
I was saying that so happy as fuck.
That's why I'm keeping it in there, because I was just so it was pure, it was natural. Why would I cut that out? Why would I do that to you?
Because.
Fine. Well, you guys will find out if we're cutting it out or not, I guess. If it's still there.
Anyways, we're homebodies is what I'm trying to say.
Very much homebodies. In the best sense. Yeah. And this whole episode was not in any way to judge or slander or be any sort of way to people who love to go out or want to go out or find enjoyment in that or anything like that. We just wanted to give you guys a little insight of to who we are and how we navigate life.
And for other people, we're like, I think we said this at the beginning too, we think a lot of people can relate in this sense of, just maybe wanting to stay home and being okay with that and not feeling pressured to go out and stuff like that. But also that if you want to go out, that hey, that's great and that's fun, and you should not feel any type of way about that except for happiness.
Or those people out there who are drinking alcohol and they're thinking to themselves, oh my god, am I the only one feeling like this right now? Feeling like a piece of shit? No, babe, you're not alone.
And if you think you're alone, and feeling the anxiety, I'm pretty sure everyone feels that. If not everyone, we definitely do. So,
or if you're one of those people, like I mentioned earlier, like me, who go to the bar or the club and you feel like everyone's just staring at you
when they're
or
not, but hey,
recording you,
other people feel like that too.
You're not alone.
And I was telling Nikki, literally yesterday we were talking about it too, how in the sense of when you go out and you feel like everyone's judging you, just know in the back of your head that if they're thinking anything, they're thinking the same exact thing about themselves. Everyone's thinking about themselves and how people are perceiving them. And so you don't have to worry about anyone thinking about you because everyone's doing the same thing you are and worry about themselves.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. It sounds selfish, but it's not.
Yeah, it's a helpful thing that I like to remind myself of. But yeah.
But in the moment, I'm like.
Yeah, definitely in the moment. Easier said than done.
Oh, of course. Everything is easier said than done. But yeah, so just to close out, I want to reiterate, no judgment. After we took a little break in between, and Rena was like, I don't want people to feel like we're judging them or anything like that. So I just want to make sure everyone in the audience feels loved and appreciated and safe.
My toe is tingling at this moment, guys.
um so yeah, I think that wherever you find fulfillment and enjoyment is, and wherever you find peace and comfort, that's where you need to stay and that's where you need to be. And don't ever let anyone make you feel like you need to change your ways, because that's because of that, because that's not where they find
Right.
enjoyment or fulfillment. Like, there's been days where I've had to, you know, step back and be like, I don't think I want to go out, like I don't think I want to do this, or because I just, that's, that wasn't what I found in that moment enjoyable. And I want everyone to know that it is okay to say no.
Yeah. And you live your life for yourself. Obviously be kind to others and whatever, but at the same time, like, you are your main character in your life. So do what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's staying in, it's staying in. If it's going out, it's going out. If it's doing something else, it's doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because all you have at the end of the day is yourself. That's all you have at the end of the day. You can have, obviously, we have our family, we have our friends, we have our animals. But if you are not true with yourself and happy with yourself, and find those pockets of peace in your life, whatever that, however that manifests itself, then then you might have to step back and reevaluate. I had to step back and
Oh
reevaluate
yeah, me
so many
too.
times. So many times I had to step back and reevaluate. And just want to close this out and thank everybody for sticking it out with us
And
yet
we stayed on
again.
a topic
We
pretty
did,
much. I
pretty
mean, we
much.
veered off, especially with the movies and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like I
The
said in the
watching.
beginning, it's just natural. It's natural. It's just the flow of things with us. So I just want to thank everybody for sticking it out with us, for joining us for another episode, and hopefully for many more. We appreciate all the love and all the support, and we hope that all these things that we talk about, whether it be about partying or having empathy or reading books and watching movies, that you can find something to relate to and something to make you smile. And hopefully the Sunroom sisters can bring a little peace to the world one day.
Yeah, that's so cute. I feel like this is a wholesome one.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
it's a little bit wholesome. That's so cutesy. But also, like, we're so versatile.
Yeah,
Because
we're
like
just two wholesome bitches.
the
That's why.
last one was like goofy, funny, unintentionally, but intentionally, and then this one is like not. It's a different vibe, but it's
Yeah.
great still, and yay,
Mhm.
that makes me happy. And then the next one is gonna be on something different too, and it's gonna be a whole different vibe. We can do it all.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yep. Well, on that note, again, thank you everybody. We love you.
Oh my
Sunroom Sisters out.
God.
Peace.
Bye.